A couple of months ago I made a test and review video about the PowerNess solar, what is it called? It's a 120 watt foldable solar panel, and the PowerNess panel was a bit powerless actually. I couldn't quite confirm all the specifications. Apparently this panel has 120 watt, but we could only see 100 watt for a second. 99 watts, 100, I can see 100. Do we get more? Come on, 100 now. Even under ideal conditions, I cooled down the whole panel with the air condition. The PowerNess panel is cooling down here in front of the aircon. But we have 20 degrees, panel temperature 19. Set this up here in the brightest Australian midsummer sun, and 100 watt was the only power we could get out at a maximum. It also claimed an efficiency of over 23%, which I could not confirm either. And some of you guys told me that this is quite normal with these foldable solar panels, because you never get the exact power output what they are saying. These portable panels are just not as efficient as the normal solar panels. And I'm getting quite a few emails from companies who want me to promote their products here on the channel. And because I don't really have a use for these foldable solar panels here, I usually say no. But recently one of these emails got my attention again. So their claim is that most foldable solar panels are dropping up to 90% if they are only partly shaded. And their panel is outperforming most of these foldable solar panels. So that's what we want to test today. Well, here's the product. It is called Shade Stopper. It's a 100 watt foldable solar panel, and it's coming from a company called EMFX Solar. Cool. Magnetic latch that is very addicting. Anyway, so we've got the usual foldable solar panel with a fabric outside. This is a 2-fold panel. Wow, oh wow. It has these adjustable feet on the back of each panel, and it sets up in only a few seconds. So first thing I'm noticing is that they have like little diodes in between the solar cells. Look at this. So many. Everywhere. And before we check it out, we have a quick look what's in this bag on the back. Ooh, connection cables, I like it. So this is the power output cable, and then it comes with all these adapters. What is that? Mini Anderson connector, XT60 and MC4. And they connect then back to the power cable to the solar panel. So one of these adapters should actually fit in any of these available power stations these days. And we also have a USB-C and a USB-A connector here on this little junction box. And it seems like, wow, look at this cable. 1, 2. The cable is almost 3 meters long. Amazing. Finally, someone thought about putting a long cable on these solar panels, because then you can have the panel in the sun and your battery in the shade. That's how it's supposed to be. And of course we are using the Bluetti it's the EB150, and this plugs in directly to the Bluetti, and we have a power generation 70, 85, 86, wow, 87, 89, what? 90 watts from a 100 watt solar panel. Wow, 87, 88, 89, 90 watts. That is already insane. Okay, let's get the PowerNess as a comparison. Okay, let's plug in the PowerNess. Shit. Let's see what we get there. It's a 120 watt 4-panel foldable solar panel. We're getting 95, 96, 94. Well, this panel is already out in the sun for a couple of minutes. This one is fresh from the garage. So this one is super cool still. 94, 95, 93. So almost the same power output between a 120 watt solar panel and this Shade Stopper 100 watt solar panel. Okay, let's see what we get here actually. Today we are having 1.2 kilowatts per square meter. Welcome to winter Australia. It is insane. Guys, before we get started and testing this solar panel out, welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage here in sunny, look at this, sunny hot Australia. I'm already sweating. We are still in the middle of winter. We've got no cloud whatsoever, just the bluest sky. And that's why we have only 37 amps outside. Still, I'm managing, it's all fine. So now after a few minutes, let's have another look at the Bluetti. 91, see the panel? See the panel has heated up now. Power output is slowly reducing, 90, 91. Let's plug in the shade stopper again. 60, 70, 83, 85. So yeah, around 83, 85 watts power output from this 100 watt solar panel. And here we get around 92, 93 watts out of 120 watts solar panel. So that is quite impressive. But now let's see what happens when we shade one of these cells. It also comes with this card here. Congratulations on receiving your foldable 36 solar cells. The output will typically fall by 85%, but with shade stopper technology the output will only fall about 7% when one of the 36 solar panels is completely in shadow. Interesting claim. Okay, warnings, maximum power output possible, move the panel to the sun, and specifications. Monocrystalline 100 watt panel from output cable at 21 degrees, 18 volts, 5.5 amps, USB-A 3.4, USB-C 3 amps, maximum 24 watts, and here's the maximum 45 watts. Here are the dimensions. So we have 36 single solar cells for the shade stopper solar panel, and we have 24 cells for the PowerNES 120 watt panel. See, these cells are much larger. They are square cells, while these ones are rectangle ones. But it seems like they have put diodes in between all these cells, and this gives them the advantage. So both panels have been out in the sun here for about 15 minutes, giving them the same conditions. And the PowerNES is still outputting 83 watts. And I made a cardboard here to cover exactly one of the panels. So we can plug this off here. And we have a power output of 64 watts still. That's not too bad actually. Okay, let's try the shade stopper. So without any shading we are getting 77 watts, and we are going to cover one of the cells as well here, exactly one, completely shaded, and we are getting 66 watts. And you probably would say, well, that's normal because we are covering only one of the 36 cells, and here we have covered one of 24 cells. So this is probably comparable with a half-cut solar panel we see in the normal stationary solar panels now. They're cutting these cells in half, and if one gets shaded, only half of this one cell is then affected. Okay, we are trying the PowerNES solar panel again. 80 watts we are getting, 81. And I'm just using the cardboard it came with to cover half, exactly half of the whole area of this panel. And we are still getting an output of 37. Half the area gives you half of the power. Okay, let's try the shade stopper. So we are getting 73 watts. And covering half of that probably gives us the same result. Oh, okay, this turned off completely. That's interesting. Not enough voltage. So obviously all these cells are in series, and now we haven't got the voltage to activate the MPPT inside the Bluetti. Okay, we make it work like this. So all these cells should be still in series, and we should still get enough power now to activate the MPPT. Just not. Okay, it is not enough. Interesting. Okay, let's try the same vertical shadow with the PowerNES panel. 82, 83 watts we are getting. Let's do the vertical shadowing, so just the bottom half. And see if this one, no, this one doesn't work either anymore. See, that is too much. Doesn't work. I think I said sunny hot Australia in the intro. Jeez, it is winter and I'm sweating. Whew. Okay, I had to move all the panels because the shadow is slowly creeping in here. Probably what we want for the next test, but I want to test them in full sun still. And I have now connected these two panels here through my selection switch, where I can choose panel number 1 on the left, the PowerNES 120 watt panel, and panel number 2 on the right, which is the Shade Stopper 100 watt panel. And I've connected both panels now to the Victron MPPT solar charge controller and the AO lithium battery, where the actual carrying strap starts degrading. Ah, what a shame. And a mess. So, and here on the screen we can already see we have a power output of 76 watts. This is now coming from the PowerNES solar panel. We've got a solar panel voltage of 16.5 volts and 4.8 amps. And we are charging this battery with 6 amps. So if I switch to number 2, it may take a moment to find the right power point. And here we have 69 watts at 70 volts, 4 amps. And we are pushing 5.4 amps into the battery. So a bit less output, but again, this is a 100 watt, this is a 120 watt, supposed to be 120 watts. I go back again to the PowerNES. Yeah, we're getting 5 watts more, so we're getting close to 6 amps into the battery, 5.8, 5.9. And here we are getting only 5.4, 5.3 amps into the battery. So around 5 watts less with the Shade Stopper panel. And again, it's a different size, right? It's a different size. All right, let's do our extreme test again and see how much voltage we are getting when we shade half of the Shade Stopper panel completely. See, we're getting only 10.11 volts only, which is not enough to activate the MPPT, so there's nothing going into the battery now. Okay, let's cover half of the PowerNES panel. So we are still charging with 35 watts here. Half the panel is shaded, while if I shade half of this one, no charging at all because the voltage is too low. These two sides are connected in series. 2 of these are connected in series, and then we have another parallel part. Okay, so I've now shaded the 2 middle panels, and we're still getting 35 watts. Oh, that's interesting. So obviously this is a combination of parallel and series connection of the cells, while here we have a series connection between these two sides. So, and now I've covered only the bottom part of the PowerNES panel, and we're getting a voltage of 12.15 volts, so this is just not enough to start the MPPT. And we are doing the same on this side, switching over to number 2, and we've got 0 watts because we are at 15 volts, which is not enough to start the MPPT either. Alright, I just put the Shade Stopper panel into the shadow of this tree, and we can see we've got a power output now of 7 watts. We're still getting half an amp into the battery. So one side is almost fully shaded, the other one is half shaded. So I now got the 120 watt PowerNES panel in the same location roughly, half shaded, half sun. And we are getting a power output of 11 watts, 0.8 of an amp into the battery. So it's a tiny bit better, but I think this is due to the size. And this is pretty much the same what I can see here on the garage, you know. I've got so many panels. The area is so large that even shading one side doesn't really affect the power output. The sheer size of this solar array, it still produces a lot of power. So here as well, size matters. So I've now moved both panels closer to the garage. So they are in full shadow now from the garage. No trees anymore, no sun spots in between. This is fully shaded from the garage roof. Panel putting out 1 watts. Okay. It even turned off now. Let's switch over to the shadow stop panel. And here as well, 0 to 1 watts in these conditions. The MPPT does not even start. Yeah, it just started now, 1 watts. Just not enough to get the MPPT running. There, it turns off again. So I've now again put both panels here in partly shaded locations. On the left the PowerNES, on the right the Shade Stopper panel. Okay, looking at the MPPT, currently we are showing the PowerNES 120 watt panel, outputs 4 watts. I'm switching now to the shade stopper on the right, and we have the exact same output, 3 watts under these conditions. 2 watts, 16 volts, 17 volts is trying to track the MPPT, of course. Now switching back to the PowerNES panel, 3 watts, 4 watts as well. Okay, let's crunch some numbers here. I have measured the effective cell area of both panels. So not the whole panel size, only the cells. And we have an area of 0.62 square meter on the left for the PowerNES panel and exactly 0.5 square meter on the right for the shade stopper panel. So, and if we break this down to watts per square meter, we have 194 watts per square meter on the left for the PowerNES panel at the rated 120 watts, which we are not getting, right? We are getting only 100 watts. That was the maximum we have ever seen, and this would make 162 watts per square meter then. And on the right, the shade stopper panel has 200 watts per square meter if we get the 100 watt, which we haven't seen today either. But we have seen 91 watts, and this would mean we are getting 182 watt per square meter. Guys, we are now seeing 107 watts from the shade stopper panel here. That is incredible. Now it goes down again. We've got these sun edge situations here, and sometimes when the sun comes out after a cloud, 107 watts. Because I could hear the fan coming on, and this only happens when there is over 100 watts power input. Yeah, it is now the next day and we have completely different weather today. Sun and cloud in a mix. But this is incredible, over 100 watts from a portable solar panel, which is rated for 100 watts only. So, well, what can I say, guys? I'm impressed from this solar panel here, from the shade stopper solar panel from EMFX Power or EMFX Solar, whatever they're called. I think we have now tested everything with this solar panel, have a good understanding how it works. And if you have just seen from a pure area and power generation perspective, this 100 watt solar panel is 12% more efficient than a normal 120 watt solar panel. So it is really good to see that companies are now getting half cell technology into these portable panels as well. And they're using all kind of tricks like these diodes in between these cells and strings. Oh, I can hear the fan coming on again. There, 95 watts in cloudy conditions. It is incredible. So this is really a step forward in the right direction, using the latest and greatest technology. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below what portable solar panels you are using and how efficient are they. Have you done any testing with your panels? How much power do you get out of a 100 watt panel? Okay, guys, I leave the link to this solar panel here down in the video description. Unfortunately, this company is US based, and at the beginning they didn't want to send one over to Australia because they have no distribution here in Australia, and the shipping costs are quite high from the US to here with such a large parcel. But if you are interested here in Australia to buy one, get in contact with EMFX, whatever they're called, and ask them for shipping. Don't use the shipping calculator on their website, because this will charge you like $680 or something for shipping. It's just totally ridiculous, of course. They have not paid $700 to ship this one over here for me to test. So hopefully if they get enough demand from Australia here, they set up distribution and shipping will be a lot less when it's shipped from here directly. Yeah, really good, guys. I'm a big fan of this portable solar panel now. I'm not an RV or camping guy or anything, but in comparison to the PowerNES, in comparison to the normal solar panel, this one is far more efficient here. So they have done a great job to integrate all this new technology here into this panel. Wow. Even this surface here is so nice to touch. Alright, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. This is so windy today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support here on the channel. To all these wonderful and beautiful people who are supporting the channel financially here, becoming a member or buying me a beer. And thank you for your many comments under the videos, your likes, your sharings. This is all much appreciated and makes these videos here possible. Until the next video, guys, when I have something very special for you. Until then, guys, you stay charged stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye bye. The shade stopper technology. Pretty good.